The doctor sat across from her and said 4 words that changed everything. "You have breast cancer." Margaret was 54 years old, no family history, no warning signs. She had done everything right: annual checkups, regular exercise, a diet she thought was healthy. And now she was sitting in a white room, listening to a doctor explain treatment plans, survival statistics, and what the next 2 years of her life would look like. She went through surgery. She went through chemotherapy. She lost her hair. She lost 30 pounds. She lost, for a period, her will to continue. But she didn't lose everything. During her recovery, her acupuncturist, a woman trained in both Western medicine and traditional Buddhist healing, placed a book in her hands. "Read this," she said. "Not instead of your treatment. Alongside it." It was a translation of the Buddha's teachings on food and the body, combined with research from the world's leading cancer institutes. What Margaret read shocked her, not because it was mystical, not because it promised miracles, but because it was so specific, so practical, so confirmed by modern oncology. Buddhist monks, who have eaten these specific foods for 2,500 years, have some of the lowest rates of cancer ever recorded in any population on Earth, and modern cancer research now knows exactly why. Today, I am going to show you every anti-cancer superfood the Buddha discovered, what he taught about each one, what Memorial Sloan Kettering, MD Anderson, Harvard, and Johns Hopkins now confirm, and exactly how to use each one, starting today. This is not a replacement for medical treatment, but it is information that your oncologist may not have shared with you, and it could save your life. Stay until the end, because food number 10 is the one that surprises everyone, and the research on it is unlike anything else in nutritional science. Margaret began adding these foods to her diet one by one, not dramatically, not obsessively, consistently. She ate them alongside her conventional treatment. She never stopped her chemotherapy. She never refused her oncologist's recommendations, but she changed what surrounded her treatment, what she put in her body every single day between the clinic appointments. 18 months later, her oncologist reviewed her scans. He'd been treating cancer for 22 years. He said, "Margaret, your recovery markers are in the top 5% of every patient I have ever treated at this stage." She asked, "Why do you think that is?" He paused, then said, "I honestly don't know, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it." What she was doing was eating the foods the Buddha had recommended 2,500 years ago. Let me show you exactly what those foods were. First, let me give you the context that makes everything else make sense. The Buddha lived in a world without hospitals, without surgery, without chemotherapy, but he lived in a world with extraordinary botanical knowledge. The healing traditions of ancient India, Ayurveda, had been developing for thousands of years before the Buddha was born. And the Buddha, who spent decades in forests and monasteries in intimate contact with the natural world, absorbed and refined this knowledge. The Buddha's teachings on food and health are recorded in the Vinaya Pitaka, the monastic code, and in the Pali Canon. They are specific, they are detailed, and they are focused on one central principle. Food is medicine, or food is poison. There is no neutral food. Every morsel you eat either strengthens the body's ability to fight disease or weakens it. The Buddha called this the right use of requisites. He taught monks to eat with clear awareness of what food was doing to the body, not for pleasure, not for indulgence, for health, for clarity, for the body's ability to sustain the practice of awakening. Modern oncology has a word for this. They call it the tumor microenvironment, the internal environment of the body that either supports the growth of cancer or resists it. What you eat every day is building that environment, meal by meal, bite by bite. The Buddha understood this 2,500 years ago. Cancer researchers confirmed it in the 21st century. Here are the foods, every single one, exactly what the Buddha discovered, exactly what science now confirms, and exactly how to use them. If there is one food in the entire Buddhist healing tradition that modern cancer research has validated most completely and most dramatically, it is turmeric. Buddhist monks have used turmeric for over 2,500 years in their food, in their medicine, in their healing practices. The bright golden color of turmeric is almost inseparable from the imagery of Buddhist Asia, the same golden color as the robes of the monks who have consumed it daily for millennia. The Buddha's healing texts describe turmeric as one of the great medicines, warming, cleansing, purifying. It was used for wounds, for infections, for what ancient texts described as heat in the blood, which modern medicine now recognizes as systemic inflammation. What does modern cancer science say? Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is one of the most intensively studied anti-cancer substances in the history of medicine. Over 3,000 peer-reviewed studies have examined its effects on cancer. Here is what they found. National Cancer Institute. Curcumin interferes with multiple cellular signaling pathways involved in cancer development, progression, and spread. It has been shown to inhibit the growth of cancer cells in breast, colon, stomach, liver, ovarian, and prostate cancers in laboratory studies. MD Anderson Cancer Center. Curcumin suppresses NF-κB, a protein complex that controls the survival and proliferation of cancer cells. When NF-κB is suppressed, cancer cells are less able to survive and spread. Johns Hopkins University. Curcumin, combined with a compound called piperine found in black pepper, is absorbed 2,000% more effectively than curcumin alone. 2,000%. India, where turmeric has been consumed daily for thousands of years, has one of the lowest rates of colorectal cancer on Earth. Researchers believe turmeric is a primary reason. How to use it. Half a teaspoon of turmeric powder in warm water every morning. Always add a pinch of black pepper. It multiplies absorption by 2,000%. Add to soups, rice, vegetables. Cook with it daily. Margaret added turmeric water every morning. Within 3 months, her oncologist noted reduced inflammatory markers in her blood work. "I don't know what's causing this," he said. She knew. In Zen Buddhist monasteries in Japan, China, and Korea, monks have been drinking green tea every single day for over 1,200 years. The tea ceremony, preparing it slowly, drinking it mindfully, sitting in silence, is itself a Buddhist practice. But what those monks were drinking was not just a ritual, it was one of the most powerful anti-cancer substances ever discovered. The Buddha's teachings emphasized the importance of maintaining the body's natural purity, its ability to resist disease, and maintain health without intervention. Green tea was one of the primary tools Buddhist healers used for this purpose. What does modern cancer science say? EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, the primary antioxidant compound in green tea, is extraordinary. Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. Women who drink 3 or more cups of green tea per day have a 37% lower risk of developing breast cancer compared to women who drink none. National Cancer Institute. EGCG inhibits the growth of cancer cells without affecting healthy cells. This selectivity, attacking cancer while leaving healthy tissue intact, is the holy grail of cancer treatment, and green tea does it naturally. University of Wisconsin. EGCG has been shown to reduce the size of prostate tumors in laboratory studies. Men who consume green tea regularly have significantly lower rates of prostate cancer progression. Journal of the National Cancer Institute. A large study of Japanese women found that those who consumed the most green tea had a 31% lower rate of all cancer recurrence after initial treatment compared to women who consumed the least. Japan, where green tea consumption is highest in the world and deeply connected to Buddhist monastic culture, has some of the lowest rates of several cancers compared to Western nations. How to use it. 3 to 5 cups of green tea daily. brewed at 80 degrees Celsius, not boiling, which destroys EGCG. Do not add milk. Milk proteins bind to EGCG and reduce absorption. A squeeze of lemon increases absorption significantly. Drink it slowly, mindfully, the way the monks do. For over 2,000 years, Buddhist monks in China, Japan, and Korea have called it lingji, the mushroom of immortality. It appears in Buddhist art, in monastery medicine cabinets, in the daily teas of monks who lived consistently to extraordinary ages. The Buddha's healing tradition described certain mushrooms as deeply purifying, able to strengthen what ancient texts called the life force of the body. Modern immunology has a more precise name for this life force, the immune system. What does modern cancer science say? Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, one of the world's leading cancer research institutions, has conducted extensive research on reishi mushroom. Their findings: reishi contains beta-glucans and triterpenes, compounds that activate natural killer cells. NK cells are the immune system's primary weapons against cancer. They identify and destroy cancer cells before they can form tumors. University of Electrocommunications, Tokyo. Reishi extract was shown to inhibit the migration and invasion of breast cancer cells, slowing the spread of cancer to other tissues. International Journal of Molecular Sciences. Reishi triterpenes induce apoptosis, programmed cell death in cancer cells. In other words, they instruct cancer cells to die. This is precisely what chemotherapy attempts to do synthetically. Reishi does it naturally. Phytomedicine Journal. Patients receiving reishi alongside conventional cancer treatment showed significantly improved immune function, reduced treatment-related fatigue, and improved quality of life compared to those receiving conventional treatment alone. How to use it? Reishi mushroom powder in hot water daily. It is bitter. This is normal. Add to tea. Add to soups. Available as capsules for those who find the taste challenging. Look for dual extract products that contain both water-soluble and alcohol-soluble compounds for maximum benefit. While reishi was the medicine mushroom of Buddhist healing, shiitake was the food mushroom, eaten daily in monasteries across East Asia for over 1,000 years. Buddhist monks ate shiitake not only because it was delicious, though it is, but because the healing traditions of Buddhist Asia recognized that it kept the body's defenses strong, that people who ate it regularly seemed to get sick less, to age more slowly, to recover from illness faster. What does modern cancer science say? Shiitake contains a compound called lentinin, one of the most studied anti-cancer polysaccharides in the world. Lentinin has been officially approved as a cancer treatment adjunct in Japan since 1985. It is administered intravenously alongside chemotherapy to improve outcomes and reduce side effects. The injectable version is a pharmaceutical drug. The food version has been in Buddhist monasteries for 1,000 years. Cancer Research Journal. Lentinin activates macrophages, immune cells that identify and consume cancer cells. It also stimulates the production of interferon, a protein the body uses to slow the spread of cancer. American Cancer Society. Shiitake is among the most promising plant-based anti-cancer foods currently under investigation, with active clinical trials examining its effects on colorectal, breast, and liver cancers. University of Tokyo. People who eat shiitake mushrooms 4 or more times per week show significantly elevated NK cell activity, natural killer cells that destroy cancer, compared to people who do not eat shiitake. How to use it? Eat shiitake mushrooms 3 to 4 times per week. Saute in a small amount of sesame oil with garlic. Add to soups. Add to rice dishes. The Buddhist monks cooked them simply. Heat, a little oil, a little salt. That simplicity preserved maximum benefit. This is where the story becomes surprising. Because garlic sits in an unusual place in Buddhist tradition, the Buddha's monastic code, the Vinaya, actually restricts garlic consumption for monks in certain contexts, not because it is unhealthy, but because its strong smell was considered disruptive to communal life and deep meditation. But in the broader Buddhist healing tradition, practiced by lay Buddhists and by monks outside formal meditation periods, garlic was highly valued as a medicine. The same texts that restricted its social use acknowledged its extraordinary healing power. Buddhist Ayurvedic healers called garlic the great purifier. They used it to fight infections, to cleanse the blood, to strengthen the body's resistance to disease. What does modern cancer science say? The National Cancer Institute places garlic at the top of its list of potential cancer preventive foods. Garlic contains allicin, a sulfur compound released when garlic is crushed or chopped. Allicin has been shown to inhibit the growth of cancer cells, enhance immune function, and reduce inflammation at the cellular level. Iowa Women's Health Study, one of the largest dietary studies ever conducted. Women who regularly consumed garlic had a 50% lower risk of colon cancer compared to women who ate little or no garlic. 50%. European Prospective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition. People who consumed the most garlic and onions had a 30% lower risk of intestinal cancer compared to those who consumed the least. University of North Carolina, diallyl sulfide, a compound in garlic, destroys Helicobacter pylori, the bacteria responsible for most stomach ulcers and strongly linked to stomach cancer. Garlic kills the cancer's precursor. How to use it? Crush or chop 2 cloves of raw garlic and let them sit for 10 minutes before cooking or eating. The 10-minute wait allows allicin to fully form. Heat destroys it if applied immediately after crushing. Add to virtually everything: soups, vegetables, rice, sauces. 1 to 2 cloves daily. Margaret added garlic to every savory meal she cooked. I started thinking of it as medicine that happened to taste good, she told me. Once I thought of it that way, I never skipped it. In Buddhist healing traditions across South and Southeast Asia, ginger was called the universal medicine. It appeared in monastic medicine cabinets, in daily teas, in the food of monks who understood that the body's ability to fight disease depends on its internal environment, and that ginger powerfully improves that environment. The Buddha's teachings described certain foods as having the quality of fire: warming, moving, cleansing. Ginger was the primary fire food. It warmed digestion. It moved stagnation. It purified what the texts called the channels of the body. Modern oncology has a more precise description of what ginger does, and it is remarkable. What does modern cancer science say? Ginger contains 2 primary anti-cancer compounds, gingerols and shogalls. University of Michigan Comprehensive Cancer Center, 6-shogal, a compound in ginger, was shown to be up to 10 times more effective at targeting cancer stem cells than conventional chemotherapy drugs in laboratory studies. Cancer stem cells are the most dangerous cancer cells, the ones responsible for recurrence after treatment. Journal of Biomedicine and Biotechnology. Gingerols induce apoptosis, programmed death, in cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed. The same selective mechanism that makes chemotherapy so difficult to achieve synthetically, ginger achieves naturally. American Cancer Society. Ginger has been shown in clinical trials to significantly reduce chemotherapy-induced nausea, one of the most debilitating side effects of cancer treatment, more effectively than standard anti-nausea medications in some patients. Georgia State University. Ginger extract reduced prostate tumor size by 56% in animal studies. How to use it? Fresh ginger root sliced thin in boiling water for 10 minutes. Your morning ginger tea. Add to stir fries, soups, rice dishes. Grate fresh ginger over vegetables. Combine with turmeric for compounded anti-inflammatory effect. 1 to 2 inches of fresh ginger root daily. Buddhist monks across Asia have eaten cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, bok choy, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, every single day for 2,500 years. The Buddha's teaching on food was simple and consistent. Eat what nature provides, whole and unprocessed. The vegetables of the field, the plants of the garden, the greens of the season. Cruciferous vegetables were available across Asia. They were simple, they were affordable. They were eaten by the poorest monks in the most remote monasteries, and they contained, as we now know, one of the most powerful anti-cancer compounds ever discovered in a food. What does modern cancer science say? Sulforaphane. This is the compound, and what it does to cancer cells is extraordinary. Johns Hopkins University, the researchers who first isolated sulforaphane, it activates the body's own cancer-fighting genes, genes that are present in every human cell, lying dormant, waiting to be switched on. Sulforaphane switches them on. Specifically, sulforaphane activates phase 2 detoxification enzymes, the liver's primary cancer-fighting tools. These enzymes neutralize carcinogens before they can damage DNA, before the damage that leads to cancer ever happens. Harvard School of Public Health. Women who eat 5 or more servings of cruciferous vegetables per week have a 33% lower risk of breast cancer compared to women who rarely eat them. American Institute for Cancer Research. Cruciferous vegetables are among the most evidence-supported cancer-preventive foods in the human diet. The evidence base for their cancer-fighting properties is stronger than for almost any other food category. Broccoli sprouts. 3 to 5 day-old broccoli sprouts contain 50 to 100 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. You can grow them at home in a jar in 5 days with almost no cost. How to use it? Eat cruciferous vegetables every day. Broccoli, bok choy, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts. Rotate them. Steam lightly. Do not boil, which destroys sulforaphane. Chop or chew thoroughly to activate the enzyme that produces sulforaphane. Grow broccoli sprouts at home and add them to every salad. Buddhist monks in the Himalayan regions of Tibet, Nepal, and northern India have eaten wild berries for centuries. Amla, Indian gooseberry, holds a particularly sacred place in Buddhist healing tradition. It is described in ancient texts as the single most powerful rejuvenating fruit available to human beings. The Buddha's healing texts describe amla as a fruit that simultaneously cools internal heat, inflammation, strengthens the body's defenses, and nourishes every tissue. Modern phytochemistry has confirmed each of these claims with remarkable precision. What does modern cancer science say? Berries, particularly blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and amla, contain some of the highest concentrations of antioxidants of any food on Earth. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that damage DNA, and create the cellular mutations that lead to cancer. Every serving of berries is a direct intervention in the cancer development process. National Cancer Institute. Ellagic acid, found in high concentrations in strawberries and raspberries, has been shown to cause cancer cells to undergo apoptosis. It also slows the growth of cancer cells across multiple cancer types. Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center. Black raspberry powder was shown to reverse precancerous changes in the esophagus of patients with Barrett's esophagus, a precancerous condition. A food reversed precancerous tissue changes in a clinical trial in human patients. Amla, Indian gooseberry, contains the highest vitamin C content of any fruit on Earth, 20 times more vitamin C than oranges. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that has been shown to significantly reduce the risk of multiple cancers. University of California, Terra stilbene, a compound in blueberries closely related to resveratrol, suppresses cancer cell proliferation and enhances the effectiveness of conventional cancer treatments when consumed alongside them. How to use it? 1 cup of mixed berries daily, fresh or frozen. Frozen berries retain their antioxidant content fully. Add to your morning routine. Amla powder is available at Indian grocery stores and online. Add 1 teaspoon to warm water daily. Eat berries with every breakfast. The monks ate wild berries the way we eat processed snacks, habitually daily without thinking about it. Flaxseed has been cultivated and consumed in the regions where Buddhism spread, India, Nepal, Central Asia, for over 6,000 years. Buddhist healing texts describe it as a seed of great strength used to sustain monks during extended fasting, to maintain body heat during cold meditation retreats, and to support what ancient healers called the reproductive vitality of the body. Modern oncology has given a very specific name to what flaxseed does for reproductive vitality. It has named the compounds responsible, and the research is extraordinary. What does modern cancer science say? Flaxseed contains two anti-cancer powerhouses: lignans, phytoestrogens that are converted by gut bacteria into compounds that block the estrogen receptors that fuel estrogen-sensitive cancers. Flaxseed contains 800 times more lignans than any other plant food, alpha-linolenic acid, and omega-3 fatty acid that reduces systemic inflammation, the underlying condition that allows cancer to develop and spread. University of Toronto. Women with breast cancer who consumed 25 grams of ground flaxseed daily showed a 34% reduction in tumor growth compared to the control group in a clinical trial. Human patients, 34%. Duke University Medical Center. Flaxseed consumption was shown to slow the growth of prostate cancer in men awaiting surgery. The men who consumed flaxseed for 30 days before surgery had significantly slower growing tumors than those who did not. National Cancer Institute. Regular flaxseed consumption is associated with reduced risk of breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer in population studies. How to use it? 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily. Must be ground. Whole flaxseed passes through the digestive system undigested. Grind fresh each week and store in the refrigerator. Add to smoothies, yogurt, oatmeal, soups, or mix into water. Do not cook it at high heat. This destroys the omega-3 content. Add after cooking. This is the one that surprises everyone, because the most powerful anti-cancer practice the Buddha discovered was not a food at all. It was the deliberate, regular absence of food. Buddhist monks have practiced fasting as a core discipline for 2,500 years. The Buddha himself fasted extensively. His monastic code prescribed eating only within a specific window: 1 meal in the morning, nothing after noon, every day for the rest of a monk's life. The Buddha described fasting as purifying, not in a mystical sense, but in a deeply physical sense. He observed that monks who ate less ate within restricted windows and periodically fasted entirely showed remarkable health, clarity, and longevity. He was right, and the Nobel Prize confirms it. What does modern cancer science say? In 2016, Japanese cell biologist Yoshinori Osumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his discovery of autophagy. Autophagy means self-eating, and here is what it means for cancer. When you fast, when you deprive your body of food for an extended period, your cells activate a cleaning process. They begin breaking down and recycling damaged proteins, dysfunctional organelles, and, critically, precancerous cells. Your body eats its own damaged cells before they become cancer. This is one of the most extraordinary findings in the history of cancer research, and the Buddhist monks have been activating it every single day for 2,500 years. University of Southern California. Fasting for 72 hours before chemotherapy was shown to protect healthy cells from chemotherapy damage while making cancer cells more vulnerable to treatment. The cancer cells starved. The healthy cells were protected. Dr. Valter Longo, USC Longevity Institute. Periodic fasting reduces insulin-like growth factor 1, a hormone that stimulates cancer cell growth. Lower IGF-1 means a less favorable environment for cancer development. Cell Metabolism Journal. Intermittent fasting, even the relatively modest 16-8 method, activates autophagy, reduces inflammatory markers associated with cancer risk, and improves the function of natural killer cells that destroy cancer. Okinawa, Japan. Where the Buddhist influence of Hara Hachibu means monks and lay people alike have eaten within restricted windows for centuries, has rates of several cancers that are a fraction of Western rates. How to use it? Begin with the 16 to 8 method. Eat within an 8-hour window. Fast for 16 hours. If you eat your last meal at 7 p.m., do not eat again until 11 a.m. the next day. This is enough to activate meaningful autophagy. 1 day per week. Extend the fast to 24 hours if your doctor approves. Always consult your physician before fasting if you are undergoing active cancer treatment or managing diabetes. Margaret's oncologist was initially skeptical of fasting. Then, she showed him the research. He spent 2 weeks reviewing it. He called her back. "I've started recommending 16 to 8 intermittent fasting to my patients," he told her. "Because of the research you showed me, the Buddha did not just teach what to eat. He taught a complete framework for using food as medicine. And this framework is as important as the individual foods themselves." Principle 1. Eat with awareness. The Buddha taught monks to eat with full attention, observing what the food was doing to the body, not distracted, not rushed, present. Modern research confirms that mindful eating improves digestion, nutrient absorption, and the gut microbiome, the foundation of immune health and cancer resistance. Principle 2. Eat simple, whole, unprocessed food. The Buddha's bowl contained nothing that had been refined, processed, or stripped of its natural properties. Modern oncology is unanimous. Processed food, particularly processed sugar and processed meat, creates the internal environment in which cancer thrives. The Buddha's simplicity was not poverty, it was wisdom. Principle 3. Eat less than you think you need. Hara Hachibu, 80% full. Buddhist tradition across Asia has practiced this for centuries. Modern research, caloric restriction without malnutrition, is the single most consistent, life-extending, cancer-preventing intervention in laboratory studies across every species tested. Every species, without exception. Principle 4. Eat in community. The Buddha always ate with others. Modern research, social eating improves nutritional quality, reduces stress hormones, and strengthens the immune function, all factors in cancer resistance. Principle 5. Give thanks before eating. A brief moment of gratitude before meals. Modern research, gratitude practices reduce cortisol, and chronically elevated cortisol suppresses the immune system's ability to destroy cancer cells. Here is exactly how to incorporate all 10 foods into your daily life. This is Margaret's protocol, the one her oncologist called extraordinary. Morning, wake up. Before breakfast, drink 1 cup of warm water with half a teaspoon of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper. Wait 15 minutes. Breakfast, 1 cup of mixed berries, 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed mixed in, a cup of green tea, brewed at 80 degrees, not boiling. Eat slowly. Give thanks before you begin. Mid-morning, a 2nd cup of green tea or ginger tea, 1 inch of fresh ginger, sliced, steeped in boiling water for 10 minutes. Lunch, a large bowl of vegetables, always including a cruciferous vegetable, broccoli, bok choy, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Add shiitake mushrooms. Add 2 cloves of garlic, crushed 10 minutes before cooking. Season with turmeric and ginger. Afternoon, reishi tea, 1 teaspoon of reishi mushroom powder in hot water. This is your medicine tea. It is bitter. Drink it as the monks drink it, slowly, with awareness, as an act of care for your body. Dinner, eat your last meal before 7 p.m. Include garlic, ginger, and at least 1 more serving of cruciferous vegetables. Keep it simple, keep it whole, keep it unprocessed. The Buddha's table was never complicated. After 7 p.m., nothing until 11 a.m. the next day. This is your 16-hour fasting window. This is where autophagy activates. This is where your body cleans its own cells. This is where the Nobel Prize research happens inside you. Every single night, the Buddha sat under a tree 2,500 years ago and made an observation that modern oncology is still catching up with. He observed that the body has an extraordinary capacity to heal itself, to resist disease, to destroy damaged cells, to maintain health when it is given the right conditions. And those conditions are not complicated. They are not expensive. They do not require a prescription. They require turmeric and black pepper in warm water each morning. They require green tea 3 to 5 cups a day. They require mushrooms, reishi for medicine, shiitake for food. They require garlic, crushed and rested in every savory meal. They require ginger, fresh and daily. They require cruciferous vegetables, lightly steamed every day. They require berries, a cup every morning. They require flaxseed, 2 tablespoons, ground fresh. And they require fasting, the discipline of stopping, of giving the body the silence it needs to clean itself. These are not miracle cures. The Buddha never claimed miracles. He claimed something more valuable than miracles. He claimed, here is how things work. Follow this consistently over time and see what happens. Margaret followed it alongside her conventional treatment consistently, imperfectly, daily. 18 months later, top 5% of recovery outcomes in 22 years of her oncologist's practice. She is now 5 years cancer-free. She still drinks her turmeric water every morning. She still drinks her 5 cups of green tea. She still eats garlic in every meal and broccoli every day and 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and a cup of berries. I don't think of it as a cancer protocol anymore. She told me recently, I think of it as just how I eat now, how I was always supposed to eat. The Buddha would have agreed. Start today. Pick one food from this list, just one. Add it to tomorrow's breakfast, then add another next week, then another, slowly, consistently, the way the monks did for 2,500 years. In the next video, we will explore what Buddhist monks do every morning, the daily routine that modern doctors say could add 10 years to your life. Until then, eat as medicine. Eat with awareness. Eat with gratitude. Namo Buddhaya.